We're almost to the end of our 3-round mock drafts. We're to the Washington Commanders, and there is nothing this team needs more than players that can consistently get after the quarterback and help for Jayden Daniels. I get them both those things in just 3 picks. I'm at ESPN Draft Nerd Jeremy Green of ESPN Radio Asheville and NFLDraft.net, and this is a 3-round mock draft for the Washington Commanders. I'm Washington has a boatload of money, but I don't know where they're going to allocate it. They're going big game hunting, and I think players are going to really want to play with Jayden Daniels. So, in my head, I don't have them adding a 3-4 outside linebacker, a pass rusher, a guy that can consistently get after the quarterback, because that's going to be hard to find. So, at pick 29, I'm taking one of my favorite prospects in this class, Donovan Ezeiruaku, edge rusher out of Boston College. This kid had a 90.5 pass rush grade, 18.1% pass rush win rate, and unlike a lot of the other pass rushers in this class, he holds up against the run well too, 10.1% run stop rate. The problem that teams are going to have, he's very scheme specific. I love the fit in Washington, but he's a little thin. I'm really curious to see where he weighs in at the combine. I've seen him play at roughly 240 pounds. He was one of the best players in the ACC this past year, which is the conference that we cover hands-on here in the South. Ezeiruaku is a player that I think comes in immediately and gives you a real burst as a pass rusher. I think he's going to be a great value. He played a little more off the ball this year to show you what he could do, and it was the best year he's had in 3 years at Boston College. I think he's a great value at number 29 and would be a great fit for Washington. Donovan Ezeiruaku, number 29 to the Washington Commanders. Their second-round pick comes in at number 61, and this was the darling of the Senior Bowl, and I think is a great fit with Jayden Daniels. It's Jack Bech, wide receiver out of TCU. If you want a comp, and I hate doing comps, but I'm going to do this one solely because I like it so much. If Julian Edelman was in a considerably bigger body, that's what you got out of Jack Bech. This kid just fights and competes. He had one of the lowest drop rates at 1.6% of any receiver in college football, 65% contested catch rate. I mean, you just go on and on and on. He absolutely dominated the Senior Bowl. His brother was killed in the terrorist attack on New Orleans on New Year's Day, and he told us all in the media poll, I'm going to come in here and absolutely dominate, and he did. Nobody could defend him. He's not the fastest kid you've ever seen. I think that's why Washington will be able to get him here at 61, because I don't think he's going to run crazy fast. He's going to play a lot out of the slot. Had 21 slot catches last year, 420 yards, but he can play on the outside as well. I love this kid. I have him as a top 50 prospect, and I look at him with Jayden Daniels. This is the consistent, I need 7 yards, he'll go get me 8. And that's exactly what I want for a young quarterback. Pick number 61, Jack Bech to the Washington Commanders. 79 is the last pick in this mock for the Washington Commanders. And they take a player I really like, and I'm notorious for doing this. I take a player that reminds me of another player that's already on this team, and I like the idea of him learning from him. I feel like Washington needs a corner to move Mike Sanders still back into the slot, because that's where he is best, at least from when I profiled him last year coming out of Michigan. Zy Alexander, cornerback out of LSU. Washington splits zone and man about as much as any team in the NFL. Zy Alexander, I think, can be a premier zone corner. He needs to learn to play man, and he is super thin. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. He's going to have to bulk up, I believe, a little bit. I'm curious to see what he runs and how all the measurables and what he weighs when he comes in. That is one thing I always watch in the combine. Guys that are thin, do they bulk up and sacrifice speed, or do they stay thin and we just talk about how they can't tackle for 2 months? There's no rhyme or reason. It's about a 50-50 split, but I am curious with him. I absolutely love what this kid brings as a cover corner. He's very instinctive. He's very reactive. And I think in those zone coverages that you see about 65% of the time from Dan Quinn, he can be an absolute stud. And you bring him along, you teach him to play man, and you get him to be more reactionary to the receiver as opposed to reactionary to the play. It's just a different skill set. I think he can absolutely do it and would be a great value and an immediate contributor here at pick 79 to the Washington Commanders. If you like these picks, click the thumbs up button at the bottom of this screen to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our draft content over the next 64 days as we prepare for the 2025 NFL Draft. We will be there live in Titletown, Green Bay, Wisconsin, for all 3 days. Every pick, instant analysis, live right here on the channel. And next week, 2025 NFL Scouting Combine, Indianapolis, Indiana. Bags are packed. We're ready to go. We'll be there Monday. Every workout, every interview, everything that happens in Indianapolis, and we're covering it all right here in the Sportsocracy on YouTube. I am at ESPN Draft Nerds. You can find me there on Twitter. And this has been a 3-round mock draft for the Washington Commanders.
I'm unapologetic. Cancel, yeah, you can try. You can't cancel what's been tonight. I ain't been had a shit, no silver spoon inheritance.